Today we're going to be talking about the 4 secrets on how to win any listing. So I'm super excited. Before we jump in, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out amazing videos every single week covering every real estate topic. We'd love to hear your comments. If there's a question that you have about real estate that you'd like us to answer, to give you more details on, please make sure you comment on that. Let us know. You can email us, whatever it is. We want to make sure that we're delivering the best value that we possibly can to you. But today, it's 4 secrets on how to win every listing. So let's start out with number 1. Number 1 is we have to focus on one key element, and that's to earn the client's trust. Okay? When we're talking about listings and listing at a high level, and I've listed over $1 billion of residential real estate and sold, when you're looking at those numbers, the way that you really are going to be the highest level of effectiveness is you have to build trust. And it's very difficult to do that as a listing specialist because you need to do it very quickly. So in order to win every listing, what we're really trying to do is win the client's trust and build rapport as quickly as possible. So the first mindset in going into this has got to change immediately, where it's not all about you. It's all about them. Okay? So when I'm looking to build trust, one of the things that we know that really separates that all apart is use the client's name and repeat back to them always what their questions is or whatever it is that they're saying. So if I'm talking to John and Susie and they say, Brendan, well, how much is your commission? John, Susie, so just to make sure I understand, the question is what do I charge for commission? Is that correct? It'll signify that you're listening to them. It'll really drive home that you care. And hearing their name a lot is going to make sure that they know that you actually care about them, because the only thing they care about is them, right? So you're going to make sure you're going to have that down. Now, in any listing situation, what we're really looking to do is try to get the client from a high level of resistance to a much lower level of resistance in the shortest period of time. The best way to do that is by what we call objection blocking and answering any objections prior to the client ever having to vocalize them. So if they have to ask you about staging before you cover staging, then that's going to be harder to get past if you need to get past it than if you already covered how you handle staging in your presentation. So design your presentation around what do I need to make sure that I know almost every seller asks about. And here are a couple of tips. They always are going to ask about the price. So your pricing strategy has to be phenomenal. And we have a whole course on that. Then number 2, they're going to always ask generally about the cost. So you need to have estimated net sheets. You need to make sure you're very confident in those. Number 3, they're always probably going to ask about the marketing, what you do, how you get it done, the staging. It could go on and on. Okay? So think about what you hear on a regular basis or what you think you should hear, and then make sure that you have a detailed presentation that already covers that prior to their objection. Okay? So that's very important. Now, the next piece that's vitally important is how we show up to the appointment. So again, we're always going to show up to the appointment 30 minutes early. We're going to scout the neighborhood for new properties. But one of the key pieces that a lot of agents pass over is being in front of the house 15 minutes prior, across the street, and going through our affirmations. Okay? So we're sitting there, we're visualizing the outcome that we want to have happen. We know that we're saying to ourselves, they're going to love me, they're going to sign the listing agreement, I'm going to put the lockbox on. They're going to love me, I'm going to put the listing, or they're going to sign the listing agreement, I'm going to put the lockbox on. Right? Or whatever it is that you say or have to visualize to get that to your brain of going, I'm going to catch that touchdown pass. Right? You don't visualize yourself not catching the touchdown pass. So affirmations, make sure you're visualizing. That's a big one, okay? Number 3, right, on one of the very, very big secrets here is we've got to make sure that we're the guide through this entire scenario, and we take them through every single thing that you're going to set the standard of what's going to happen, okay? They want the professional that can walk in, know what to do, take them from where they need to go to where they want to be, all right? So in doing that, here's some practice things that you want to work on. You always want to make sure that you explain things every time the same way. So if you take a listing on a particular date, you're always going to launch a listing. Meaning if I get a listing agreement signed on a Tuesday, I'm always going to launch that listing the next following Thursday to the internet because I need time to do all of my steps and process. And there's several things that we need to do between today and next Thursday for that to happen. For example, I need them to declutter. I need to make sure that if my handyman needs to come by, we may possibly need to have staging, the photography, the sign install. All of those steps need to happen. And I need to be able to explain to the seller how they need to happen so that they can make sure that they're absolutely prepared for when that time comes and that they know, wow, this guy's really got it all, or gal has got it all covered and all laid out for me. I'm just going to be like, where do I sign? That's the great sign of an excellent presentation, is where they're just going, they look at each other and they go, I guess he covered everything. And yeah, we have a whole detailed plan. Yeah, he covered anything that we thought we might have a question about. So that doesn't leave any other thing left to do but, okay, yeah, sign the listing agreement. Okay. So that's what your goal is to make an engaging presentation that leads to the signature, but covers everything. And so they're not, every time they ask a question or they have so when do you think we should hit the market? Here's what I see a lot of agents do. So when would you guys like to hit the market? Okay. So in one day, 24 hours from now, you'd like to be on the market. Okay, well then let me scramble, run behind the scenes, try to get all this done to take you to market. And then they under-deliver, and then the seller's not happy. It's not set up correctly. You didn't get a pre-market it, so you didn't get any buyer leads from it. And you end up short of delivering on an exceptional real estate experiences, which is what you're shooting for here, okay? So you got to make very clear of that. And then the last piece here, right, is making sure that you're 100% prepared for the appointment, okay? So the preparation for the appointment is where you're going to succeed or fail. So every single time for every listing presentation, you have your entire packet, everything completed. You've sent your pre-listing presentation ahead of time. Everything has been done. Your sample marketing's in your folder, your notepad, your pen. We offer all of this in our complete listing system that you can, look at and purchase and practice and do all of those things. But you can go through and make sure that you're doing all of these things so you're the most prepared. The agents that take the most listings aren't the savviest. They're not the smartest. They're the ones that have the most consistent presentation with the most consistent data that they're providing to the client, that makes the heavy lifting is taken off of them because they're so prepared. Their research has been done. They've looked up the client's information. They've used our trust qualifier to really build rapport, which you can find on our private Facebook page, right? All of those things are taken care of. That's where the power is in the preparation, okay? I always talk to people and I go, what would you do for $1 million job interview? If someone were to give you an opportunity where you could have a job where you could make $1 million a year, what would you do to prepare for it? That's the mindset you have to think about, because for some of you, it might be nothing, right? You're like, I just show up and wing it, and hopefully I get it based on my charisma. But if I'm showing up for $1 million job interview, I'm going to research the company. I'm going to make sure I understand the ins and outs. I'm going to try to find out everything I possibly can to leverage myself to have success and win. And the reason I say $1 million is I have clients that I've sold that I've made over $1 million in GCI from, gross commission income, because again, it was that one meeting. I met with them one time, sold them a $400,000 house. They referred me to their sister who bought a $700,000 house. I met through the sister, that daisy chain, or I've had people where they bought multiple properties from me. So you never know how important that first meeting could possibly be. So make sure you're 100% prepared. All right. So those are the 4 secrets on how to win every listing presentation and win the trust of the client. Again, if you found this information useful or valuable, please like it, share, ring the bell so you can subscribe to all of our latest videos that we're coming out with. We're going to provide you the most intelligent real estate training on earth. That's our goal. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I'm telling you, you apply these principles, I guarantee you're going to have massive success. All right. So thanks again for joining. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And as always, I wish you great success.